Surfing in Washington and Oregon, it's hard to get into because the water is so cold. And like as you get better, you want to go when like the waves are bigger. And when there's big waves, it's usually like rainy or stormy. And it's hard to go out for just a day. So you might be camping and you're like camping in the rain. And it's tough to do that alone, especially because if you go with friends, there's like the whole mutual struggle, I guess. Like putting on a wet wetsuit or camping in the rain turns out to be kind of funny. What I love about surfing is it just hooks you because you get one wave and then you want another. And also you're just in like some of the most beautiful areas out on the coast.
It's really hard to be at UW and live in Seattle and go surf because it's minimum 2.5 hour drive there and back, no matter where you're going. If you go like all the way to Nia Bay or whatever, that's even farther. And surfing is this activity that I think a lot of people think about, especially from here, think about like, oh, that'd be fun to do, but there's really no access. So I'm hoping that by building the community of surfers in Washington and at UW, we're able to give them an opportunity to go out and experience the Washington coast and a fun activity. It's like something that's been asked me before, like, why surf in Washington? Like, why would you want to surf here? And I love just for a couple reasons. One, I love the fact that, as you said, it's hard to access. It can be kind of physically uncomfortable. It's hard to master in the sense that, like, you know, being there at the right place at the right time to catch a break or to catch a swell. Sometimes you show up and it's just flat as a lake when you're like, wait, but the wind was right, the tide was right, like what's going on? So I think that to be a surfer in Washington, it's more than just showing up to a beach and getting in the water. You have to like really care enough to put in the time and the effort to get skunked, to be freezing cold, and learn to adapt to those conditions, to learn from those lessons. And then that's like how you really become successful in surfing up here, is putting in sweat equity. It's harder to do. I guess I just kind of like that it's more satisfying when you do get a great day because you're like, wow, I put in days of work, I put in like research and just time and effort to get this.
The best surfer out there is the one having the most fun. And so no matter your background, like we're all just here for the same reasons, to enjoy Mother Nature. And I think Warmcurrent really captures the beautiful part of surfing culture where communities come together, like young, old, no matter your age or ethnicity, like anything like that. We're all just here to have fun.
All year long, I have kids asking me, when's camp, because they absolutely love it. It's the best. They have so much fun and they just really enjoy it. I have so many photos on my phone of just all these kids having so much fun. But, you know, like one year I remember, you know, some kids, like I said, were having issues like the wetsuits. I think that's the biggest thing, is getting kids comfortable in wetsuits, you know, and like there's someone who was like having a really hard time. They're crying. I was like, hey, don't worry about it. You know, this is totally up to you. Just do this. You know, helped them out. Finally got him in there. They went out, and at the end of it, there's this big smile on their face. They just had so much fun. They loved it, and once they got it off, you know, they realized like, okay, I can do this. Like, it was a fun experience. Just seeing that, that's always the best. What we're doing definitely makes a big impact with these kids, a positive impact, and it's definitely sometimes really needed for some of them, just because maybe they're not getting that somewhere else. So
the two girls that I first taught at Hoboken, they came and like they were just having a lot of hard times with like school and some of their home life. They were 12 and 13 and they never gone to the ocean. And so when they realized that like you can actually surf and it's accessible to you, their minds were just totally blown, and they're like, I feel so much better. And they were explaining some things that were happening, and it was just like ocean therapy.
We're all different sizes, and Warmcurrent has never made anyone feel like you can't do this because you're this size or you're that size. It's always so inclusive, and I think we do such a good job. Help them feel good about that and know like No matter what I look like or what size I am, I can get out there and do that too.
As I like to call ourselves like a true nonprofit because none of the board members volunteers, no one gets paid. All of the money that we all fundraise, it always goes back to the community. So whether that means buying the surfboards or the gear, the wetsuits, like anything, it always goes back. Even if you don't surf, you can come volunteer with us. We always need lifeguards or EMTs or people to help with wetsuits. So don't let not surfing cut you off because we can find work for you.
I think that coastal protection is important in general, but I think what we're really talking about here is climate change, right? And while climate change is not in the mission of Surfrider Foundation, it is the catalyst for the work that we are trying to do. So I just personally feel like getting involved with us is getting involved with the fight against climate change. Our chapter focuses on beach access, plastic pollution, of course, climate change, and legislative efforts to help codify long-term protections for our vital watersheds and coast in this area. And we also run a variety of programs, such as beach cleanups, and then we do chapter meetings every month that focus on different coastal issues. It's super easy to get involved with what we're doing. Either joining us at one of our chapter meetings or beach cleanups is usually the best place to take that first step. We invite everyone and whatever skills that you might be bringing to the table, because we know that what we're about is comprised of individuals that are passionate about coastal issues and making sure that we protect what we love.